Okay, welcome back. Day 18. Uh, Very windy out here. Let's talk about the rental deposits. This is a big problem. So so tenants give three months, right? Let's just call it three. It could be more, right? Could be whatever you want it to be. Really. So the first month is usually going to be paid a commission, half for each office. That's usually how it's handled. Does it have to be that way? No. The problem is the other 2 months. That needs to be put in an escrow account, aka savings account, that belongs to whom? The owner, the landlord. Now, can the landlord leave that money with the brokerage, with the real estate brokerage? Yes. Can the landlord put that money with an attorney? Yes. Uh, can the landlord put the savings with his own funds? I'm sorry, the advanced deposits, which is the last month and 1 month security, or whatever it may be, 2 month security. No, landlord cannot do that. Now, there are some exceptions. And what the landlord is supposed to do is you're supposed to go to your bank, any bank. You're not going to use a brokerage or an attorney. You're supposed to open up an account, and you're supposed to send a copy of the account. Obviously, I would take out the account numbers, but the name and the amount and everything else, and send it to the tenant. And you're supposed to tell the tenant of how their money is being held and where, because it is the tenant's money. Can it be interest bearing? Yes, as long as the tenant makes 75%. Um, must the landlord put the money in a separate account? Well, here are the rules for that. If the landlord used a licensed professional, you guys, the answer is yes, because our agreement, which is the only one we're allowed to fill, is from the Supreme Court. And that agreement says very clearly, very clearly, that it must be in a separate account. Now, if the landlord wants to mix it with his own funds, which that's called commingling, by the way, then the landlord wants to post what is known as a surety bond with the circuit court, which is basically an insurance. But it has to be for equal amount. It doesn't make any sense. You're going to put $5,000 in your savings because you want to put $5,000. Oh, the same. I almost fell here the other day. So you're going to put the same amount in a court system. Doesn't make any sense. Why are you going to do that? So I got to put $5,000 with a court system so now I can get your money, put it anywhere I want. Doesn't make any sense. That's a surety bond, by the way. Now, when can the landlord mix the funds? When he doesn't use an agent. And he has to own less than 4 properties, or 4 properties or less. If he owns 5 or more, he cannot do it. And if you use an agent, you definitely cannot do it. So those are the rules for the deposits. Make sure you follow them. Many landlords do not. This is a problem because when it comes time for the tenant to exit, if you didn't follow it and you have a problem with the tenant, what are you going to do? All the tenant has to do is take it in front of a judge. Hey, he never showed me what my money is. I used an agent. And now, who commingled? The landlord did. The landlord's going to be in trouble landlord most likely, I'm not a judge, but the landlord most likely will be asked reimburse the entire amount, and they're going to refer that person to where? The DOJ. So if you're that person, when the tenant leaves, make sure that you finish amicably, for sure. Okay, guys, that is the process of the rental deposit. Until next time, thank you for listening.